Nostalgia. A feeling that is hard to describe but is always bittersweet to experience. The Oxford definition of the word is a sentimental longing or wistful affection for a period in the past. This part explains the sweet, and this part makes it bitter. There are many things that can make you walk down the memory lane. It could be a song that you used to listen all the time, it could be a familiar scent, it could be a movie, or it could be a game. When you find anything that you once used to do and enjoy, but cannot anymore, you experience. But here's the problem. How can a painting that you are seeing for the first time take you back in time and give you the same feeling of nostalgia? For some, it might be a strong wave, while for others, it might be a surreal feeling that is hard to explain. Take a look at this painting and try to find out what's odd about it. At first, you might feel that everything fits where it should be. The scene is simple, there's a house, there's a street light, and there's a road. And yet, when you look at all these seemingly normal things at once, something clicks. Why don't you come down with me to a familiar place that you're seeing for the first time? I know it sounds surreal, but sit back and relax. Oh, and have fun. The paintings you saw are from a series made by the famous Belgian surrealist artist Rene Magritte. There are many great names when it comes to surrealism, but I find Magritte's work to be the most hard-hitting and the densest in terms of meaning. This painting series is unofficially called the Empire of Light or the Dominion of Light. There are around 27 paintings, all painted at different years without any apparent connection. The subjects are usually the same: a house, a tree, a street light, and the sky. What makes these paintings so unique is the light. I mean, think about it. What time is it here? Is it night? Because the street light is on, along with the lights inside the house. And move your eyes upwards, and you notice this bright sky with white clouds. Magritte has joined day and night in a single canvas. It shows all the places where we see light, in the sky, in the streets, and in the houses. But there's more to the painting than just mixing day with night, right? I mean, it doesn't seem like a big trick. The magical element of these paintings is the contrast. No, I'm not talking about the contrast of light and dark or blue or orange. I mean, those are common. I'm talking about the contrast between bitter and sweet. The contrast that is present in the feeling of nostalgia. Most of Magritte's works play with our minds, from putting an apple in front of this man's face to making a mermaid that will definitely give you nightmares. The artist has always used our emotions as the subject of his paintings. The Empire of Light shows the two beautiful things about day and night that can never be together. You look at these beautiful blue skies with white clouds that Monet would love to paint. It makes you feel happy and free. And then you look at the soft and warm glow of the house in the darkness, the beautiful silhouette of the tree that paints the sky. There's something so appealing about it, right? All of these things give you sweetness. And then the bitterness comes from the realization that this can never happen in the real world. You wish that you could experience it, something that you can only experience by looking at these paintings. Isn't that very similar to the feeling of nostalgia? Here, let me replace the bright sky with a night sky and see what happens. Well, everything still looks beautiful. It just doesn't have the same appeal, right? The artist actually talked about these paintings, giving an idea about why he made them. He said, "I find the evocation of night and day is endowed with the power to surprise and enchant us. I call this power poetry." And he was right. This is how you can visualize poetry, or, the feeling of reading a poem. The idea of making paintings in this style did not just occur to him. In fact, it was one of those moments when you realize that you have something special. Take a look at the first painting he made that resembles the style of the Empire of Light paintings. It's even titled Good Fortune or the Poison, something which is completely unrelated to the word light. Now, you will realize that he has tried something different. We have a sky that resembles either dusk or dawn with some grey clouds in it. But then, the silhouette of the building shows the night sky. You can even see the moon here. Yes, it is unique and surreal too, but it's not that powerful, is it? The sharp division of night and day and the obviousness of the painting makes things very obvious. But this is different because it confuses with its subtle nature. Everything seems normal at first with something different, something so bizarre that you cannot put your finger on. By the way, some of the paintings from this series sold for over millions of dollars. with this one getting a record $121 million. I mean, what can I say? You cannot put a price tag on nostalgia. Apparently you can, but it's quite expensive. Now, you might wonder, what would happen if you switched the scene? Instead of the day sky and night house, what if it was a night sky and the house had bright lights? Well, you don't have to imagine because the artist did and painted too. And here's how it looked. Nothing special, right? I mean, it just looks like a normal place that has a lot of street light. Almost every urban area fits the bill. This is why I said that it's not about the contrast of the colors or brightness, because they're all here. But it's not special. This is special. Let me come to something personal. You might not feel the same sense of nostalgia that I feel when I look at this painting. You and I both might feel the same sense of nostalgia while looking at this painting. But for you, it might be for completely different reasons. I think the reason I get this feeling is because of those memorable 15 minutes. In my childhood, I remember going out and playing with my friends. I'm sure many of you would relate to this as well. The time used to be around 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. maybe. Of course, back in those days, YouTube had just launched and there was no concept of a smartphone. So I would just stay out as long as I can, riding my bicycle until the sun started to set. And those 15 minutes of dusk, when the sky would still be bright, but I would notice houses turning on their lights, this painting brings the same forgotten scene in my mind. This is why it looks so familiar and so bizarre at the same time. This is also the reason why I've experienced a strong feeling of nostalgia when I look at this painting. You might love looking at this painting, that's the sweet part. Now let me bring the bitter part before I end this video. Magritte made a total of 27 paintings in this series. However, all these paintings have never been exhibited in one place. I could not even find the names of many paintings or their pictures from this series. One of the reasons is that these paintings are scattered all around the world, some in Europe while others in the US. Imagine how great it would have been if one hall had all the 27 paintings, from the very first one to the very last one. Watching the representation of this surreal feeling unfold with years of work put together in one place, from the painting that have been finished to the ones that are unfinished, that would have been a wonderful feeling. But again, it's something that we can only imagine and maybe piece together in our heads. We cannot experience that in reality. Somehow nostalgia strikes again. And that was all about the painting. We've come to the end, and if you watched all the way through, a big thank you for giving me your time. This is the best way to reward my hard work. If you liked my video, consider subscribing, and of course, I want to know your thoughts about what you feel when you look at these paintings. Don't shy away, write everything you want to in the comment section below. I would love to read them all. And until we meet next time, have a great day ahead.